Hello, good afternoon, welcome to my channel. Today I want to teach you the two methods you can use to cut your straight pencil skirt. So let's get started. The basic measurements we'll be using, we'll be needing your waist measurements, your hip measurements, your waist to your hip line, your waist to your knee line, and your full length measurements. So now I'll try to indicate the lines I have. This is my waistline, my hip line, my knee, and my full length. Alright, so the basic or the instrument, the equipment I'll be using this afternoon are my pattern master, my French curve, and my tape rule. Also, I will be using this ruler because I prefer it to the other ruler. So now I'm going to place my tape rule on my waistline and measure 4 inches, which I'll be using to draft out my dart. So the length of the dart I want is 4 inches, then I'm going to connect it to that place. That is, this is where my dart will stop. It is necessary to know that whenever you want to cut this tie, whenever you want to cut your fabric, you are going to fold your fabric into 2 places, and the places where you can easily open and close is where we'll be drafting out our measurement. Now that I've indicated my measurement on the waistline, that is my dart measurement, I'm going to take my ruler, my tape here, and measure half an inch on each side of the fabric, indicating where my dart will start. Now I'm going to take my French curve and connect it to the end of the dart using the straight side of my pattern master, then to the other one. Alright, now I'm done drafting out my dart. Now I'm going to place my tape rule on my waistline and measure my waist. My waist is 28 inches, divided by 4 is 7 inches, plus the 1 inch dart allowance here equal 8 inches in total, then I mark on the spot. Now I'll place my tape rule on my hip line. My hip is 40 inches, divided by 4 equal 10 inches, I mark on the spot. And on my knee line, I'm going to remove 1.5 inches from my round hip measurement. My round hip measurement is 10 inches. 10 inches minus 1.5 inches equal 8.5 inches. Alright, so we are almost done with the first method. Now I'm going to connect the 3 lines I have here. But it is important to know that you can connect the lines using your hand, or you can also use your French curve and herb. So this is what it will look like if I use my hand to connect it, but I also want to show you what it will look like if I connect it with my ruler. Like I said, I will go with this ruler, place it on my waistline to my hip line, then connect the lines. I'm done connecting my waistline to my hip line. Now I'll connect my hip line to my knee line. Alright, here we are. I'm done connecting my hip line to my knee line. So now I'm going to go to the full length of the skirt. Whatever it is that I have here is what I will be measuring here. Remember, I've removed 1.5 inches from my hip measurement to get my knee line, so I'm left with 8.5. Then I'm going to place my ruler to the full length and measure 8.5 inches as well and mark it. Now I'm going to connect my knee line to my full length using the straight part of my pattern master. So now I'm done connecting all the lines I have. Remember that my waist is 7 inches, but because of the 1 inch that allowance I added, that was why I was able to get 8 inches. So if I measure this, I got 7 inches. That is, here I have 1 inches, then plus the 7 inches, that is 8 inches. After removing this 1 inch allowance, I'll be left with 7 inches. And on my hip line I have 10 inches, on my knee line I have 8.5 inches, also here I have 8.5 inches. It is very important to know that whenever you want to start drafting your pattern, you should leave half an inch on each side, that is from the beginning half an inch, and at the end of the fabric half an inch, which is served as your seam allowance. But if you are the type that is not used to adding inches or adding half an inch at the beginning and at the end, so if your hip line is 8 inches, then you should measure 8.5 inches in total, and if your full length is 23 inches in total, you should have half inch, which is 23.5 in total. So those half will represent the half you're supposed to remove in the first place. So now with this, we are done with the front part of our fabric. Here I have 8 inches, here I have 10 inches, and on my knee I have 8.5 inches. Also here I have 8.5 inches. Remember, I removed just 1 inch from this. So now with this, we are done with the front part. If you want to cut out the back part of the fabric, you just leave half, like 1 inch seam zip allowance, then place your front fabric on the back fabric to cut it out. Welcome back. So now we are about to start the second method. We'll be using the same measurement we used as the first method, but the difference is that we are going to use our hip measurement all through. So now I'm going to place my tape rule on my waistline and measure 10 inches, which is my hip length. That is, this is 10 inches in total. Also here on my hip line, I'm going to measure 10 inches. So I have 10 inches in total over this part. So on my knee length now, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches. Remember, I removed 1.5 inches in the first method. So we are going to measure the 1.5 inches. Then I will connect the lines with my pattern master. Alright, so now where we have 1.5 inches, I will just mark it straight down. Also, at the lower part of the fabric, that is the end of the fabric, I will measure 1.5 inches as well. Then connect it. I'm done connecting the line, so this is what it will look like. I will just indicate where I'm going to cut out in the fabric. So for this other method, it is actually nice if you don't know or you are not sure that the fabric you have will be enough, or whether you are a beginner and you are not sure, you don't want any mistake, you do not want to spoil your customer's clothes, so you can follow this method. This method actually, it is when you are about to see it on the machine that you now shape out whatever it is you want. So that is when you shape out your measurement. But this is what it will look cutting it out. So now let's assume you are not cutting it out. That is, if you want to cut it out, you bring out your scissors, then cut this way. Bend your hand this way, then cut it this way, then you are done cutting it. So let's assume we cut out our fabric now, we are on our machine and we want to see it. So you are going to place your tape here at the beginning, that's on your waistline, and measure your, but remember you would have removed your dart here also. So let's assume you removed your dart and you want to measure 7 inches. So you place your tape rule on this side and measure 7 inches, then place your tape rule on the hip line where you have 10 inches, that is, this is it. So you are going to connect it. Let me use hand this time around because the other time I actually used my ruler. So this is what it will look like. Now you want to connect it to this side. But it's important to know that you remove 1.5 inches from this side. So when you want to cut or when you want to see your fabric while sewing it, you will not bring it this way to give it that curvy shape. So you're going to bring it this way in a curvy manner. So this is how you are going to sew your fabric. If you look at the two methods we use, it's more or less like the same thing. The difference is just that one, you are going to shape it out while cutting it, and the other, you are going to shape it out while sewing it. So now by then, when you are sewing it, you would have been sure whether you have enough fabric or not. So this is the first method, and this is the second method. Whichever method you want, you can indicate it on the comment section, or whichever method you like, you prefer it to. Drop it in the comment section, and if you have any question, you can also drop it. I'll do it to answer all your questions. So let me try to indicate where we are going to cut out. This is where you cut out on your fabric. So that is all. It is as simple as that. Thank you for staying tuned. Bye. See you in the next video.